Taking New York winter over this.
We got a problem on the ship.
There's a real mix of films heading our way over the next few months. And some of them are flying way under the radar considering how good they sound on paper. I went through everything coming and picked the 10 worth tracking. Number 1 is going to be one of the most talked about horror releases of the year for reasons you might not expect. Let's get into it. Number 10, Lucky.
Get out of here alive.
Starting the list with one of the smaller titles in the mix. Details on this one are still limited, but it's part of a wave of grounded, character-driven films quietly filling out the release calendar this year.
The way you think it will.
The kind of film that often surprises people specifically because it isn't buried under marketing. Worth keeping half an eye on as more comes out. Number 9, Motor City.
Suffering a straight sickness. You need to see me right away so I can fix this up.
Motor City is one of the action releases sliding into July, going up against some genuinely massive competition that month. What we know points to a grounded, high-stakes action setup, the kind of film built for people who want practical stunts and real tension over CGI spectacle. Going up against Spider-Man and Minions in the same month is a tough spot, but action fans specifically should keep this one on their radar. Number 8, Scooby-Doo, Origins.
Solve a mystery.
Rory. I got a bad feeling about this.
Creatures are taking over the world? That is so mean.
Quick clarification on this one, Scooby-Doo. Origins is actually a Netflix series, not a movie, premiering in 2027. But it's significant enough to mention here. This is a live-action reimagining of how Mystery Inc. first came together, Shaggy and Daphne as old friends at summer camp. Pulled into a supernatural mystery involving a lost Great Dane puppy who may have witnessed a murder. The biggest detail here, for the first time in the franchise's history, Scooby is played by an actual real dog instead of an animated or costumed character. McKenna Grace leads as Daphne, with Velma and Fred rounding out the gang. If you grew up on this franchise, the darker, grounded origin take is worth keeping on your watch list for next year. Number 7, The Dog Stars.
There's a new bunch in town. They're going after. What do you expect to find?
Based on one of the most acclaimed post-apocalyptic novels of the last 2 decades. The Dog Stars follows a man living through the aftermath of a pandemic that wiped out most of humanity, surviving in isolation with his dog and a small plane, until a radio signal suggests he might not be as alone as he thought. This isn't a loud apocalypse story. It's quiet, reflective, and built around loneliness and the search for connection when almost everyone is gone. If you want something with emotional weight rather than spectacle, this is the one to watch for. Number 6, Onslaught.
Cover your ears.
Why?
From Adam Wingard, the director behind the recent Godzilla x Kong films, comes a much more grounded action thriller. When a squad of genetically engineered super soldiers breaks loose in the desert, an army sniper played by Adria Arjona has to take them down before the situation spirals completely out of control. This is military sci-fi with a tighter, more personal scale than Wingard's recent blockbuster work.
Not about words, okay?
You little bitch!
And the cast, including Michael Biehn, suggests a film that's leaning into practical tension over pure spectacle. September is shaping up to be loaded, and this one deserves to not get lost in the noise. Number 5, Lucky Strike.
Taking New York winter over this.
Inspired by true events from World War II, Lucky Strike follows a soldier trapped behind enemy lines during the final major German offensive of the war, what would become known as the Battle of the Bulge. Armed with nothing but an early model radio, brand new battlefield technology at the time, he has to outthink an advancing Nazi panzer army just to make it home alive. Scott Eastwood leads, with Colin Hanks and Ingenue Ellis-Taylor rounding out the cast. War films built around a single soldier's resourcefulness, rather than large-scale battle sequences, tend to hit harder emotionally. And this one looks like it's aiming for exactly that. Number 4. Mutiny.
We got a problem on the ship.
Jason Statham doing what Jason Statham does best. Except this time, the entire film unfolds aboard a cargo ship. Statham plays Cole Reed, an ex-Special Forces operative working private security for a billionaire shipping magnate. When his boss is murdered, Reed is framed for the crime, and goes on the run aboard the very ship at the center of an international conspiracy that runs far deeper than he expected.
What's the way?
This reunites Statham with the director of Plane, which should tell you exactly what kind of tightly contained, high-tension action to expect. If you like your action movies confined, brutal, and efficient, Mutiny is built specifically for you. Number 3. Whalefall. One of the most unique premises on this entire list. Whalefall follows a young free diver searching for his father's remains in the ocean when he's suddenly swallowed whole by a sperm whale. With his oxygen supply running out, he has minutes to find a way to survive from inside the animal that just consumed him. This is pure, high-concept survival horror, claustrophobic, terrifying, and based on a novel that critics praised for making an impossible scenario feel viscerally real. If executed well, this could be one of the most intense theater experiences of the entire year. Number 2. Street Fighter.
I don't see what the big deal is.
The reboot Street Fighter fans have wanted for over 30 years. Set in 1993, estranged fighters Ryu and Ken Masters are pulled back together when Chun-Li recruits them for the World Warrior Tournament, a brutal fighting competition that hides a deadly conspiracy underneath it. What makes this version different is the sheer scale of the cast. Andrew Koji and Noah Centineo lead as Ryu and Ken, with Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and even 50 Cent rounding out a roster built specifically to honor the games rather than reinvent them. After 2 previous live-action attempts that fans largely rejected, this is the first version built game-accurate from the ground up. October 16th could finally be the one that breaks the curse. Number 1. Resident Evil.
Wanted you to know.
And here we are. Number 1. This is, technically, a Resident Evil movie. But Zach Kreger, the director behind Barbarian and Weapons, has been upfront that it has almost nothing to do with the games or any previous film in the franchise. There's no Leon, no Jill, no Wesker. Kreger wrote an entirely original story that takes place on the periphery of the Raccoon City outbreak from Resident Evil 2, following Brian, a medical courier whose night turns into a fight for survival when the outbreak reaches him from a completely different angle.
And it looks like there's...
Kreger has said he wanted this to feel like pure survival horror, comparing his approach more to Evil Dead 2 than anything in the existing Resident Evil films. Given what he did with Barbarian and Weapons, that comparison alone should have horror fans paying very close attention. Early trailer reactions are already calling it one of the most promising horror releases of the year, Resident Evil in name, but something stranger and more dread-filled underneath. Number 1, by a significant margin. 10 very different films heading our way over the next few months. Quick question, which one are you most curious about? Resident Evil going in a completely new direction, or Street Fighter finally getting the cast right? Drop your answer below. New video every week. Only the films and shows actually worth tracking. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.